He is a New York Times best-selling author, and we are back with this, Voices in the Ocean, a journey into the wild and haunting world of dolphins. Good morning, Susan Casey. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Huge success with the rogue waves, and then you focused on the great white shark. Why and how did your love for the ocean come to be? Because I know you're the former editor-in-chief for O Magazine with Oprah. So what made you leave and dive into this world of all things Oceania?
Ever since I was a kid growing up around Toronto, it was just bodies of water. It was the lakes in Muskoka. It was anything. It was even a swimming pool. But then when I actually started spending time in the ocean, I realized, oh, this is sort of where all the action is, and now I'm hooked. I find it the source of all mystery and wonder. It's the planet. It's this realm that we know very little about.
And we've had this affinity with dolphins for a long time. You know, countless movie shows and TV shows. Aristotle wrote about them. What is it about dolphins? We find them to be very friendly, and they're actually super intelligent. They have super large brains. They're very much like us.
They are. What's intriguing about dolphins is really, it's how much they're like us at the same time while being so completely different than us. I mean, you have societies and cultures. You have dolphins that have moods. You have individuals with personalities. Some dolphins are the life of the party. Some dolphins are shy. And at the same time, you know, they live in this environment that's alien to us. They have senses that we don't have. They have lives that would look very different, obviously, if they were land creatures.
They used to be land creatures.
I know. And
who knew?
It's so crazy. They came off land about 55 million years ago, and by 35 million years ago, they had developed their big brains and their high-frequency hearing. But they were, at one point, small-hooved wolves.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they defy physics, being able to move as fast as they do, considering their body mass. And one of the stories I love is, first of all, they're able to detect if you're sick, if you're pregnant. They're very in tune with humans, so much so. You tell an incredible story of survival where they were able to lead somebody. I'll let you share that story. Who was in trouble?
Well, you know, you hear all these stories about dolphins rescuing humans. You hear it over and over again. And I wanted to take some of those stories and take them from the realm of anecdote, you know, or just tale, and put it into verifiable, you know, this really, I can prove this and it happened. And my favorite story came from a scientist who was studying a pod of bottlenose dolphins off the coast of LA. The dolphins were just doing their thing, kind of ignoring her, and then the dolphins found a bunch of fish and were beginning to feed when one dolphin took off, went offshore, about 3 miles, and the rest of the dolphins broke away.
Suit.
Yeah, and you don't see dolphins abandoning fish very often. So it was interesting. The scientists followed them, and the dolphins led them offshore, and it was foggy and gloomy. It wasn't an area they could see. And they made a circle. The dolphins made a perfect circle, and in the center of the circle there was a girl's body. The girl was floating. She wasn't dead, but she was almost dead, and she had a suicide note and her identification in a plastic bag around her neck.
Oh my gosh.
So the dolphins led the scientists directly to her and basically went here,
save her. They revived her. That's incredible. And of course you talk about some of the dangers, clear and present dangers, hunting, and then there's sonar. So this is what the military uses. And what is it doing to the dolphins?
Well, sonar is this incredibly loud noise, the combat sonar that the Navy uses, and often they're just training with it. But it's incredibly, it's so loud that it can blow out their eardrums and pulp their brains, and they're acoustically sensitive. So they have this noise. I mean, if we heard the decibels of noise that they're hearing with the sonar, it would kill us instantly. And noise travels much further and much faster in the ocean. So
it's a sonic bomb to them.
It is, exactly. And if they're in the wrong place at the wrong time, they'll shoot to the surface, and they get bends, the symptoms of the bends, the same way we would, and it can kill them.
And of course now there's so much education, thanks to people like you, to help diminish these sorts of things, and in diminishing the hunts and the nets that they get caught in with overfishing.
Yeah.
Do you see an improvement with that?
I think we're at a point right now where we're becoming more aware, and the real question is, what are we going to do about it? So there's a difference between having this information and acting on it, and that's the point we're at right now. I do think there are a lot of activists doing amazing work to help dolphins, but the hunt continues at the Cove and Tai Chi, and the noise in the ocean, we need to speak up and say this isn't okay. I mean, we can't just completely bombard these animals with noise. Imagine if somebody did that to us. It would drive us crazy quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and knowledge is power. And thank you so much for sharing the tender stories, including your experience with dolphins. You have to pick it up to read it. Please do so. Where can they get this? Is it online? Any bookstores?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
do you still keep in touch with Oprah?
Of course.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more BT right after this. Susan, come back anytime.
Thank you.
Continue success.
The fire brigade comes in a couple of days. Until then, we got nothing to say and nothing to know, but something to drink and maybe something to smoke. Let it go until our roads are changed. Singing we found love in a